What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering. Probably just two topics today. I'm saving some of the media, like the Hollywood memes and stuff like that, for Monday because, well, this stuff seems to take precedent, although I know people are getting a little tired of it. So I'll try to give you a nice break on Monday, unless anything crazy happens. But it looks like things have now moved officially. There were unofficial channels that moved in the digital battle space early on, but now we're seeing Silicon Valley, YouTube, and Facebook making moves to block revenue making off the Ukraine invasion. I understand where they're coming from. It's a complicated thing where you're essentially, even, I have this situation where, like, people say, oh, you're profiting off of this. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to deny that. But this is just what I do. I cover news. So it's I would rather not be talking about this. I would rather be talking about Brie Larson and her bodacious bod or whatever something stupid would be. But it's hard to ignore this right now with the wider scale implications. 4 or 5 minutes ago, it was announced YouTube blocks Russian media channels from generating revenue over the Ukraine invasion. Now, I do wonder if this is going to extend to Western media. Are they going to demonetize CNN, myself, on these videos? Seems unlikely. I'm not sure why YouTube would have had those channels, where their status was in monetization anyway, because, who knows? This on top of Facebook. Later yesterday or earlier this morning, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter all limit ads over Russia invasion of Ukraine. Facebook is blocking Russian state media from running ads on its platform anywhere in the world. This move comes after Russia said it would limit access to the giant social network in the country. Nathaniel Gleischer, head of security policy at Facebook, tweeted, "We are now prohibiting Russian state media from running ads or monetizing them on our platform anywhere in the world." Now, Russian state media, for example, probably can be put in the same bucket as like Chinese state media, where at least you need to be very suspicious of the things they're saying. That said, I'm suspicious of things my own government says too. So if nothing else, this whole situation with Ukraine has made me even more suspicious. Twitter, which banned advertising from state-controlled media back in 2019, said that Friday that it was temporarily pausing all ads in Ukraine and Russia to ensure critical public safety information is elevated and ads don't detract from it. Good. On Saturday, Twitter said it was being restricted for some people in Russia, that it was working to keep our service safe and accessible. Meta's Facebook parent company said the decision to bar Russian state media from making money on the platform as well as on Instagram comes in response to the invasion in Ukraine. The social network says it's also continuing to label state-owned media accounts. I've always thought it was kind of weird, when you look at Facebook or YouTube, and how they obsess over misinformation, or is talking about misinformation. Let's use Twitter, for example. Yet they have like a verified Chinese state account that's constantly spreading hilariously easily debunkable information about China, and they just let them exist. So it's like, oh, misinformation is fine when they run ads on our website, but not when you talk about people wearing masks, apparently. They continue. Refused as a result. On Friday, Nick Clegg, Meta's vice president of global affairs, said Russian authorities had ordered the company to stop labeling and fact-checking posts from 4 Russian state-owned media organizations. We refused as a result. They have announced they will be restricting the use of our services. Well, it sure is an interesting way to say you weren't doing anything wrong, isn't it? If they're like, hey, stop fact-checking our stuff, and then you say no, and then they say, well, we're going to block your service. Now, that, again, I don't know what to say about fact checkers, TM. But back to the YouTube account, YouTube blocks Russian media channels from generating revenue over the Ukraine invasion. I'm surprised they don't just suspend or temporarily suspend all their channels. YouTube suspended several Russian media channels from generating revenue on the Ukraine service, on the video service on Saturday due to extraordinary invasion of Ukraine. The banned accounts included state-funded media outlet RT.com and follows a similar move by Facebook owner Meta Platforms. In a statement, YouTube said, in light of extraordinary circumstances in Ukraine, we are pausing a number of channels' ability to monetize on YouTube, including several Russian channels affiliated with recent sanctions. Now, pause it. It doesn't sound like you've banned them necessarily or that it's any kind of long-term punishment. RT, I guess I'm a little naive. I've seen them write decent articles before. But I've also seen them listed as state-owned, and I mean, it's literally called Russia Today. So, I don't know exactly what to think there. Perhaps you can educate me in the comments, but they are tools of Russian propaganda to justify, support, and evade sanctions for their illegal, outrageous invasion of Ukraine. Written, we are hoping for your support. On Friday, Facebook parent company Meta said that it had restricted Russian state media's ability to earn money on the social media platform as well. We are now prohibiting Russian state media from running ads or monetizing on our platform anywhere in the world. Nathaniel Gleicher said, now, can they just use fake accounts? Can they use dummy accounts? I'm sure. I run an advertising agency, and it's not uncommon for people who have banned accounts on Facebook for one reason or another, not even necessarily nefariously, to have multiple accounts still running ads to various websites. But now in the more like gray area, you have hackers from both sides. You have Russian vigilante hacker. I want to help beat Ukraine from my computer. That was the message greeting visitors to dozens of Ukrainian websites on Wednesday afternoon. From 4 o'clock local time, web pages for banks and government ministries started going down. Naturally, fingers quickly pointed to Moscow. Russia's cyber army once again accused of hacking to spread fear and confusion online as troops massed on Ukraine's borders. But the BBC has learned that at least some of the cyber attacks that afternoon and since have come from, not from the Kremlin, but from groups of so-called patriotic Russian hackers. They work in small groups without direct orders from the Russian state and are intent on adding to the chaos in cyberspace. By day, Dmitry, not his real name, works for a respectable Russian cybersecurity company. On Wednesday afternoon, he finished work helping protect his customers from malicious hackers and went home for the night. But while watching the unfolding cyber attacks against Ukraine, he decided to assemble his team and get stuck in. Considering everyone is going after Ukraine servers, I'm thinking we should cause some disruption too, he posted on social media. He says his team of 6 hackers and temporarily brought down a number of Ukrainian government websites by DDoSing them. BBC witnessed the crew temporarily take down Ukrainian military page, taking that offline. Dmitry says they communicate on encrypted channels, never speak in person, even though 2 of them work at the very same security firm. Pretty hilarious. On the other side of thing, hacking collective Anonymous has decided to go after Russia. Russia's invasion of Ukraine has taken place both on and offline, blending physical devastation with escalating digital battles. Ransomware and other hacking groups have taken to social media to announce where their allegiances lie. The record will be tracking whose groups align with who aligns with who, as well as any attacks they launch related to the conflict. Many of the pronouncements from these groups include threats against critical government infrastructure. Some collectives are state-sponsored, while others are decentralized. But all are able to take down computer systems and breach organizations. So, siding with Ukraine, Team Ukraine, you've got Anonymous. United with Ukraine and officially in cyber battle against Russian government. The group later tweeted that they targeted a Russian state-controlled international television network, RT. I saw that go down in real time. And has taken down the website of Russian propaganda news station RT News. And this is their words. Anonymous is said to be a decentralized hacktivist group that targets different government institutions and government agencies, corporations, as well as the Church of Scientology. Also, having GhostSec announced their support back on the 24th. In support of the people of Ukraine, we stand by you, also known as Ghost Security. The name considers itself vigilante group that was initially formed to target Terry websites. GhostSec is also commonly referred to as an offshoot of Anon. Then with Russia, you have a lot. You have the Minsk-based group UNC 1151. You've got Sandworm, the Red Bandits, the Cooming Project. What's interesting is like how these outside actors can create additional levels of chaos. Now, RT.com went down for like a little while, but I checked it a couple times afterwards and it seemed to be back and everything seemed to be fine. So I don't know like what kind of sustained chaos they can really provide. Most of the time I see something go down, it's because, you know, it's down for like an hour or two and then like pretty much everything comes back. Although GiveSendGo seems to be continually having problems even after they had their data breach, and there are other websites that maybe never recovered. These big like government-run sites certainly slower to fix them, or will be faster to fix themselves, but perhaps just as vulnerable. It'll be interesting to see as like more of Silicon Valley and Susan Wojcicki and stuff like that all kind of toss their lots in and see exactly if it has any effect whatsoever. I mean, the thing is, like, Facebook is incredibly important for people staying in touch with their families, but would Facebook go so far as to say, all right, we're just going to turn off in Russia completely, forever? You're only really hurting the citizens there, aren't you, though? It's a tough decision to make, but I'm curious to hear what you have to say in the comment section down below. We'll talk to you again real soon.